I am sick, but I promise you I am getting better. What is up, you guys? My name is Elias and I love movies. It's been exactly a month since my last Q&A, which means it's time for me to do another one. And as always, if you guys enjoy these Q&As, make sure you leave more questions down below. The more random, the better. And I will be sure to answer them in the next Q&A. You guys can also leave me questions on Twitter, on Instagram, or on my Facebook page. And of course, all the links to those pages are down below. But let's not waste any more time, which happens to be something that I'm very good at. What do you say we go ahead and get straight to the questions? 1, 2, 3.
Guerra Movie House.
Alright, you guys got the questions pulled up on my phone. Let's go ahead and get started. First question comes from Jason's Film Journey, and he says, even though comedy is your least favorite genre, what is your all-time favorite comedy? My favorite comedy of all time is Superbad. I saw that movie in theaters several times, and every time I went with a different crowd, and it just got funnier and funnier. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, doesn't matter where I'm watching it or how I'm watching it, doesn't matter what mood I'm in. If I'm watching Superbad, I will most likely be laughing my ass off. I just can't seem to ever get tired of it. And his second question is, what makes a good comedy? Well, for me personally, a really good comedy pretty much relies on dialogue, just something that Superbad has a lot of. The conversations are hilarious. The things that they say to each other, just going back and forth, is absolutely hysterical. It's kind of hard to explain because I'm not a fan of comedies and I do get picky about them. As long as there isn't much bathroom humor and the relationships between the characters and the dialogue is like extremely quick and understandable with the story that's going on, then I will most likely enjoy it. Now that I think about it, that probably doesn't make much sense because that describes most comedies. I guess it just all depends on how it's delivered. This question pretty much proves to everyone that comedy topics are not for me. The next few questions come from J. David, and he says, I know that you love Pulp Fiction, which yes, I absolutely do. But what is your second favorite Tarantino movie? It's kind of hard for me to put them all in order because I love all of his films. In my opinion, I don't think he's made a bad film yet. For the sake of this question, I will have to say Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, and yes, I do consider both of them one film. All of his movies literally take the genre of that certain film to a whole entire different level. I know that all Tarantino films sort of pay an homage to all genres. What he did with the Kill Bill films is absolutely amazing. From the score to the dialogue to the directing to the lighting to the acting, I mean everything. The way it was put together is literally perfection. I do watch all Tarantino films every single year, but I would honestly have to say that Pulp Fiction and the Kill Bill movies are probably the ones I watch the most. The second question is, what does your wife think about your collection? Does she get mad at you when you buy a lot? Does she get mad at you whenever you bought the Batman figure? You mean this Batman figure? My wife actually doesn't mind the movie room or the collection because I don't just buy for myself, or at least I try not to. But I do a lot of times buy things for her and for the kids, things that I know for a fact they want or will like. And with that said, she actually did get very mad at me whenever I bought this Batman figure because I didn't just buy Batman, I also bought Darth Vader, which is in the back, which also stands at about 3 feet. So yeah, she doesn't mind me buying movies because it's something that we can watch over and over. Same goes with TV shows. But whenever it comes to buying toys or action figures, she doesn't understand it. She doesn't understand because it's gonna sit there and do nothing. And she's right, it is sitting there doing nothing, but it's also sitting there making me happy. I'm sure some of you understand. Now I'm hoping she doesn't watch this video because she will most likely think that I'm talking junk behind her back, which I sort of am, so don't tell her. Baby, if you're watching, I absolutely love you and you are the best. Third question from J. David is, what video games do you own for your Nintendo? I don't consider myself a gamer like at all. I have a Super Nintendo and that's pretty much all that I need. I don't mind playing the same games over and over because the games that I do have, I absolutely love. I have The Lion King right there, which is an awesome game. I have Zelda, and I have Street Fighter 2. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is like extremely easy for me now, but I can't seem to ever stop playing. Two games that I have absolutely mastered over and over, time and time again, and will most likely never ever get tired of is Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. Two of my favorite all-time games. And I also have a Mega Man video game which someone else is currently borrowing, which is another game that I've also mastered and can't ever get tired of. Next few questions come from the Late Reviews, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll put a link to his channel down below. His first question is, are you getting any more tattoos? And if so, what are you thinking about getting? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am planning on eventually pretty much covering my whole entire body except for my face. For those of you that didn't know, tattoos are actually very, very expensive. Since the day that I turned 18, I've been getting 2 or 3 tattoos per year, and now I'm 28, so you do the math. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna make my next appointment, but I do know what I want to get. Just in case you guys haven't noticed, on this hand I have a film reel, and right here I want to get Hitch for Alfred Hitchcock, which is my favorite filmmaker of all time. And also on this hand I have a paint palette, and I want to get Dali for Salvador Dali, which happens to be my favorite artist of all time. The second question from the Late Reviews is, what are some of your favorite metal bands? I said it before that A Perfect Circle is in fact my favorite band of all time, which isn't really metal, but the bands that I listen to the most would have to be Slipknot, El Nino, Killswitch Engage, absolutely amazing, and I am sad that Howard is no longer their lead singer. Also absolutely love In Flames, Deftones, which I don't know if you would consider them metal, and also Korn, which I don't know if they would be considered metal. I mean, it's seriously like a forever lasting list because there's so many bands. It pretty much all depends on the mood that I am in that day or that week. This next question is, who is an actor that you would like to sit down and have lunch with? That's easy. Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's brilliant, and he's definitely one of those actors that I would love to meet. The last question from the Late Reviews is, what is your least favorite pre-Iron Man MCU Marvel movie? I'm really sorry because I know some people actually enjoyed these movies, but I would have to say Ghost Rider. It just felt like they tried a little bit too hard. Some stuff was badass and I did enjoy, but overall there was just something about it that didn't really catch my attention. I didn't really care for it. Next question is from Ivan Flores, and he says, who's your favorite actor and their performance? And like I said, Joaquin Phoenix would probably be my favorite actor alive today. To pick my favorite performance from him is hard. The Master is definitely up there, but there's so much other stuff that he's done that I think is brilliant. Like Two Lovers, which is a movie that nobody ever talks about, that most likely a lot of people haven't seen, but I think his performance in that is perfect. So if you haven't seen Two Lovers, watch it. Just trust me. The last 3 questions come from Big Al 1982, and his first question is, who is your favorite Batman villain? And I'm sure we can all agree, the Joker. I don't think I personally know or have heard of anyone that has had a different favorite villain from the DC universe or the Batman universe. Do those people even exist? His second question is, what are your top 3 favorite Hitchcock films? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rope is my #1 favorite Hitchcock film, even though it's not one of his popular ones. And of course, picking the other 2 is extremely hard, but for the sake of this question, I would probably have to say Vertigo and Rear Window. Rear Window would definitely have to make that list simply because of the location. The way everything is put together is amazing. It's brilliant and unforgettable. And his third question is, what item do you wish you could add to your movie room? And does space count? Because that's the #1 thing that I need right now. I am literally out of space in this room. I no longer have any room for anything. I had to take down my action figures and just so I can stack movies on the top of the shelves. I could say more movies or another box set or more action figures. When thinking about necessities and wants, I would either have to say another shelf or more room or another room. Another house. Can I pick a house? That's it, you guys. That's all the questions. Thank you very much for asking them. Don't forget to leave more random questions down below for the next Q&A. And of course, it doesn't have to be movie related. It can pretty much be about anything. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and I also have a Facebook page. If you don't feel like leaving a question here, you can also leave a question there. And as always, thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching Guerra Movie House. Like, comment, and subscribe for my videos. Peace out, homies.